Hello everyone, and as you can see, this is not a Let's Play video, this is a review video. And today I will be reviewing Big Hero 6, the manga. I came across these at a Books A Million. There is 2 different books so far. I don't know if there'll be any more in the series. I will be looking into that, but they are fairly new and they're a really good read. I do suggest picking them up. I got them at a Books A Million for $12 a piece. I will say right now I am going to go and explain more about the mangas and compare them to the movie, but what I'm going to do is pretty much just say this right now. If you'd rather read them and not have me spoil anything, then I'd suggest just go ahead and stop right now, then come back and see what I have to say. But I already did the spoilers thing. Okay, here we go. In comparison between Big Hero 6, the movie, and the manga. The manga story does stay kinda with what the movie had going. It changed a lot, obviously, and these were written after the movie. These were not a pre-thing. These are not the comic books that I still need to look into about. But yeah, what makes these a good read, but what made it different is the timeline on how everything worked out is different. I'll start with characters. Hiro Hamada in the manga and the movie, he is actually a lot more of a self-centered jerk in this manga. He, to put it bluntly, he's kind of an asshole, but he's still really smart, still does everything, but he's very focused on always being with Tadashi. Like, as in the movie, he did like being around his brother, he cared a lot about his brother, but in the manga, it's a lot more rooted that Tadashi was the only person he cared about, like solely cared about. He even doesn't really care about his Aunt Cass whatsoever, which is kind of heartless in a way, but his character is a lot different. But he latches on to Baymax. They still have the whole moment, like in the movie, where they had his little accident and everything, and Baymax showed up after Tadashi's death, quotations, because the reason I say quotations, in the movie, spoilers, he did die. Whereas in the manga, there is actually a chance he is still alive somewhere in another dimension. And what I mean by that is, Tadashi was actually helping Dr. Callahan redo the experiment, the portal experiment. And it went wrong. Hiro followed Tadashi to the showcase research lab, and, well, everything went wrong, and Tadashi got sucked into the portal as he saved Hiro, and Hiro was trying to save him, and Hiro couldn't hold on to him, and he got sucked in. And Hiro did not actually make friends with Go-Go, Honey Lemon, Fred, and Wasabi at all until the very, very end of this, like literally into the about second of the book, he started to be really good friends with them. I'm not really sure why the creator of this manga, but Haruki Unio, sorry if I butchered your name. I really like what he wrote. This is actually, there's parts that I like better than the movie, surprisingly, because usually if I see one thing before the other, I usually turn biased. It has its moments of stuff being a little better than the movie, and then there's just stuff, it's just like, the movie did it better. But that's always going to be the case with anything being a book and being a book and a movie, or a manga and a movie, whatever. I'm still calling this books. They're always going to be different, always. They're never going to be exactly the same. And yes, in most cases, the book's always going to be better, usually. If you want to sit there and everybody says, oh, this is better than this is better than this, who cares? Just sit down, read it, see what you think. But yeah, digressing here. But yeah, what else was different? Hiro actually designed everybody's costumes like he did in the movie, though they had no real input. It was like a big surprise that he had made these for them. He may have still used their inventions that they did. I don't know, because the manga doesn't really go into explaining about that. it's kind of like a weird summary of the movie. It tried to tell the story of the movie. Callahan's daughter, Abigail, she still does get sucked into the experiment, but the experiment was not done by the other guy, which I don't remember his name. But yeah, if you've watched the movie, yeah, he wasn't the one that done it. Callahan was the one running the experiment in this. Abigail, his daughter Abigail, is actually a lot younger in this manga than she was in the movie, which kind of surprised me considering she's maybe Hiro's age, maybe a little younger, probably a little younger, which I don't know. It feels kind of weird that she's younger, that much younger than her 20-ish year old self in the movie. That does, I don't know, it does kind of bug me a little bit because it seems more reckless that they'd send a child into an experimental wormhole, even if they have tested it a million some odd times. It just seems a bit a big one is they actually show they give Callahan some backstory, which I thought was really cool. Callahan got some backstory about you got to see his wife, what he was like when he was growing up, and it does build up to it. But his wife Sarah, that's what I was on. You get to hear about his wife and his life, and the manga really does a good job of building up to this, because at first you think he's talking about Hiro, who is all wrapped up in his inventions, and then you find out, he's talking about Callahan, which Callahan basically was wrapped up in his stuff, didn't care about other people. They had him and Hiro like really mirroring each other, which was really good. A really good tie-in, because basically he saw himself. That's why he didn't go to Hiro come in and help him, because Hiro doesn't care about other people. He's just like me. And he's right. Hiro really doesn't care about anybody else other than Tadashi. That's what it basically came down to. I am going to go ahead and spoil the ending of the manga, because I literally just finished everything just like a little while ago. And what exactly happened was they went in, saved Abigail like they did just about like they did in the movie. Except as he was looking, as I said, Tadashi had got sucked into the portal as well. Baymax did a scan and he was not in there. So maybe what happened is I don't know. Maybe what happened was there wasn't enough power to open the portal to the right place, maybe. But my money's on that when Tadashi got sucked in without being in a pod like Abigail was, in something that would protect, like an atmosphere, it has an atmosphere in it, he got sucked in it without anything, I'd kind of have to say he might have died, because when you go into that dimension and kind of look around, you don't really get a sense or a feel that there's atmosphere, because it's weird. It's really weird. It's like when you go into that dimension, you're in outer space, and if that's the case, I think Tadashi getting killed in an explosion was a lot less effed up way for him to get killed, because getting sucked into outer space would just suck. Yeah, it would suck, because space is a vacuum. So what else do I need to go over? The fight scenes were different. The first battle took place in the city, and the final battle took place on the island. So it was like a reverse there. That's kind of funny, actually. You get a lot of backstory stuff, which I think is funny. It works. It really works for the story, but you do get a lot of weird backstory in places that you're not really sure how it works in with the story itself. But it kind of does work, because it kind of talks about the relationship of the characters. And going back to characters, everybody, the story mostly focuses on Callahan, Tadashi, and Hiro, and Baymax. Because there's one part it does talk about how Baymax getting built, and really Tadashi actually saw Hiro as his rival, surprisingly. But in a way, it wouldn't be too surprising. I mean, you're an inventor, and your younger little brother is so much smarter than you are, and it's kind of weird because he was happy for him. It's like a friendly rivalry, but Hiro realized he was his brother's rival. Let's just go with that, because I can't say the other word. Can't say the other word. But you only get to see Fred's house for a little bit, and it was a surprise / wasn't a surprise. I think it was written in mind of people would have already seen the movie before picking this up. They'd have picked this up out of a second thought of, hey, there's a manga, let's read it and see what it's about. And it is definitely worth picking up and looking at. It really is. I think that's about it. I mean, I covered pretty much everything that it was in all the main points of the story. I mean, yeah, as I said, it focused on them three, mostly on Callahan, Tadashi, and Hiro, because Tadashi had his little thing. He really wanted Hiro to, go out and see the world environments and all this, so he could see what else was out there. He really wanted him to make friends, make social interactions. The thing is, I think the reason why Hiro didn't care for other people had to do with the fact that in one of the instances when he was trying to be recruited to go to school, all these teachers were praising him, and basically it showed in the background these small group of students being envious about it. And what happens is they basically beat the crap out of Hiro because he's smarter than they are. And basically they say, just because you're a little smarter than us doesn't make you special. And then after that, he basically locks himself up, and Tadashi put it on himself to try and get him reintegrated into everything, to try and get him to, go outside, because he locked himself up in his room all the time working on stuff. But that's really just what happened, and I think that's really what pushed Hiro to not care about people. I mean, it might even come back to the whole genius complex I guess a lot of people have, and what that is a lot of really smart people don't really seem to get along with other people that well. Don't quote me on that, because I'm sure there's a lot of really smart people out there who's done great with social interaction, but I don't know if any of them were like child prodigy geniuses. Those types, kind of Good Will Hunting, that's where I'm going with that. Hiro is a lot like that character from that movie. It's a lot like Will Hunting, Matt Damon's character. It's a lot like that of, yeah, I'm smart and I don't care, that kind of thing. Or he's so smart, he is arrogant about he looks down at everybody else. Basically, there's a character they added, and it kind of shows how arrogant Hiro is, because he sat there not only corrected the teacher, he also basically called him and the entire class stupid to their face. And what I mean by that is teacher was explaining a lesson, and apparently he's explaining it wrong, and Hiro basically told him, since you're explaining it wrong, it's a surprise if they learn anything in this class. And then everybody's like, oh wow, I can't believe, no wonder you're a genius and all this. And he just kind of looked up like, wait, what? Y'all didn't understand that? You guys must be kind of dense. And he said that to him. And then he was working, also not even paying attention, direct attention to the teacher. He was busy working on something else, and the teacher took it from him and kind of set something off that kind of set basically he somehow put rockets on everything in the classroom, and stuff was flying around. It was hilarious. And that was in the first book. Second book focuses on the rest of the good fighting scenes, and basically I think that it talked about, it shows him fighting Callahan and finding out it was Callahan. That was the first chapter of the second one. And then the whole thing with Baymax, find out it's for Abigail. And then chapter 7, the heart of Baymax, for this one is weird. It's basically explaining kind of why Tadashi made him, I guess. It made it kind of weird, but it was a good ad. It was a really good ad. So if you decide to sit down and look into what I'm talking about, I hope you enjoy it and get insight on what you like, whether you want to read this or not. I really hope anybody who decides to watch this video would go pick it up. It is a really good read. If you're a big fan of Big Hero 6, I think you would really like the story. And deep down, I really think this would be a good collection to add to your ever-growing manga collection. Yeah, I think it'd be definitely a good thing. And, well, next week I'll figure out a schedule for myself so I can do this and deal with work and other, everyday life BS that most of us don't want to deal with. Yeah, I'll figure out a upload system. Not entirely sure what my next read will be. I might definitely go pick up I don't know. I did find out that there is a manga of Persona 4, and there's also a manga for Persona Q, and it's got both halves. Persona Q, the side that has 4 on it, and the one of Persona 3. So definitely going to be getting them. Notice that there's only 2 books per that side at the moment, and I think there's only one for the Persona 4 one at the moment. So I'll definitely probably give them a read. I'm probably going to have to go pick up the Persona Q ones. I only have so much money to spend at a time. I gotta give myself a spending budget. Besides looking at games and everything, I mean, heck, it is not cheap. Having an addiction to books and games is not cheap. I mean, holy crap. But yeah, digressing. But yeah, I'll definitely I think I'll give the Persona 4 one a read next and do a review on it. And I've played the game. I have played the game on that a little bit. It's something I'll have to go back and keep playing through, so I can read as I read the manga and play the game. Kind of put the 2 and 2 together and see where it lands. Most likely the manga is going to be a lot different than the game. Going to be a lot of less stuff in it. Maybe, I don't know, there could be a lot of points, and it could help figure out which path to figure out how to get the actual ending of Persona 4. But yeah, I'll definitely gonna look into that. I'll start throwing some books around, some actual books, not just manga, but some books, and definitely look into some comics next too. Maybe some short stories, creepypastas. I'll start reading them. Even some stuff from what was it? Thought Catalog. Their creepy catalog has some really good short story reads. They're creepy as all heck at some points. Some are good, some are kind of meh. But you know, just got to pick. It's different taste. Everybody has a different taste. Well, that's all I have for today. I'll talk to you guys later. Keep reading. Yeah. Knowledge is power. Always remember that. Always remember that. Knowledge is power. Why live one life when you can pick up a book and live several?